Hello, everybody. It is Thursday, which means we are running with scissors again, and I am leaning on this huge box of stuff that I just got from scrapbook.com. And I know we want to go through it. So we're going to go through my box of stuff plus a little bonus stuff that I got. I placed a couple of medium to large orders at a few places. I went to Dick Blick. I went to scrapbook.com. I also went to Simon Says Stamp. My Simon order isn't in yet because they're just a little slower on the delivery. It is shipped, but it's not here yet. Anyway, I am so glad to see all of you. Today we are doing a redo of the last week of the Face the Sun stamp set because the audio and the video was really crummy that day. And so we are going to do those over again. That way you can really see the Goosebumps in action. It is such an awesome product. It's something that I think is definitely going to be in my craft room long term. And these are just really fun projects and I loved the way they turned out. So I really wanted to have a good video for them. So do over. Yay. Okay. So let's see. We'll go through. Well, you know what? Let's do the giveaway announcement while I'm thinking about it. Okay, so over to your left, I'm going to pop up our winners. So these are the winners from our sketch starters from the month of August and our winner from last week's survey group. So if your name is up on the winners announcement, ta-da, you are a winner. And oh, I guess I'm going the wrong way. And you should pick up a $15 gift certificate to Altenew. Yay! Congratulations to Steffi and Becca. Just email me, Nicole at pmretreat.com. I've got that right down below there with the subject line September winner. And I will make sure to send you guys the coupon codes for your $15 gift certificates for Altenew. Yay! Awesome job. Woo! And hey, shout out to Ms. Tamp. Did you know that you won, shoot, where was that from? Was it My Favorite Things or somewhere else? I can't remember. I saw your name somewhere. I was like, oh my gosh, Ms. Tamp, she won. And it was really awesome. So congratulations to everybody for winning here and for all of your winnings that you may have gotten this week. Okay, pop that off. Okay, so let's go on to the other fun stuff. I'm going to flip my hands down. Okay, I don't have any of this listed down below. If you want me to link anything, just put a question in the live chat and I'll add it to the listing of products down below. Remember, those are affiliate links. So if you use those and shop, that means that I may get a small commission when you check out, and that's at no additional cost to you. I am a firm believer in using those affiliate links whenever I can because it not only helps out the person that's been helping you out with your crafting, but it lets that company know that affiliates are important to you and that all of this crafty education is important to you. And you're kind of paying for it anyway because you're not paying extra for it, right? But the company has to pay out that money to its affiliates. So I'm sure they've got it in their pricing somehow that they're paying that out. So you may as well use it and make sure that all the great artists that you support are getting a little bit of a kickback for the great content that they provide you. So does that make sense? I hope so. Okay. Moving on to the fun stuff. So this, to start off, is the stuff that I got from Dick Blick. And I know we've been having conversations about quality versus price and things like that. And when, you know, the trade-offs and things like that, like the Transin brushes that I use, I think they're really great, but they also happen to be a really great price, right? Well, Dick Blick has really great prices on really good stuff. So I was trying to decide whether I wanted to invest in something a little cheaper, like Arteza products, or if I wanted to go for the good stuff. And I decided that I was going to go for the good stuff because as far as like paints are concerned, I think the better product you have in your hands to start with, the more successful you're going to be right away. So, because if you're fighting with a subpar product, then you might not like it. You might say, oh, they're all like this, and then just kind of throw up your hands in exasperation or whatever. So as far as paints are concerned, I went for the gold. I went for the Holbein artist's gouache. And so if you're not familiar with gouache, it is a opaque watercolor. So it will be like solid colors, and you can layer them on top of each other and get layered colors. They won't blend into each other like transparent watercolors will. So these happen to be the little teeny tiny 2-ounce containers. But you know, watercolor really lasts a long time. So I'm expecting my gouache to last a long time too. And so there's 12 colors in here, and they're liquid. So when I open them up, I'm just gonna put like a little teeny tiny dab on a palette. So can you see the color in there? Gotta get it to focus. There we go. So just a little teeny tiny dab will probably do me enough. And I'm going to see how it goes with these. And I thought this was a good investment because they're small. So if I happen not to really be thrilled with them, I won't have a lot to use up. But if I like them, I can also get them individually, which some of those other companies like Arteza I looked at, you can't get their colors individually. So when you run out of a color in a set, you kind of have to buy the whole set over again. So with these though, I can buy them individually. So if I find I'm running out of like the white more often, I can get a larger size of the white and just have it separately or whatever. So that's the first one, my Holbein gouache. Okay, and then second, well, these two things kind of go together. So you know I have my gel plates, and I'm going to do some more with those. And actually we're going to use them for our new stamp focus set, not next week, but the week after. So I got some little texture things from Jelly Arts, and they will make like little texture imprints and such on my gel plate when I use it with paints. And the paints that I have right now are really just the inks that I have in my ink pads. And although some of them work well, like the Altenew multimedia inks and some of my other pigment inks, they work okay on the gel plates. Really, this is a good medium, like a perfect medium to be using. This is acrylic paint. So these are Golden, by company Golden, and Golden is based in New York City, or in New York. So I was really happy to be purchasing something made in the USA. And that's another thing that I looked at, is like where the colors were made and all that kind of stuff. So these are made in the USA. The Holbeins are made in either like Germany or Japan. They have offices and manufacturers in both areas. So I was cool with that too. So this is Golden, and this is thick bodied. I thought this was thick bodied. Maybe this isn't. Maybe I got the wrong thing. Anyway, they're acrylics, so water soluble. But a reason why I decided on these is because of something called color shift. So they, when they dry, the color is going to stay pretty much the same as it does when it's wet. And that was kind of important to me. I didn't want to have big color shifts. So that's the reason why I picked these. And we'll get more into these in the weeks that we use them this coming month. Okay. So that, these combs, Ms. Tamp, I think you could probably use a lot of different things. I just wanted to give them a try and see if it was worth actually getting something that's pre-made for you, or if I thought you could get away with making something yourself. So we'll explore that later this month too. Oh, and one more thing I wanted to share about the Holbein. So talking about quality and things like that, when you're talking about gouache, the way that they make it opaque is that it has something in it that makes the color opaque, right? So instead of being transparent, see-through, it's opaque. You can't see through it. And for a lot of paint companies, what they use is a whitening agent. And what that does is it makes your watercolors look milky instead of just a solid color. Holbein doesn't do that. They don't use what they call whitening agents. And that was important to me. I didn't want to have like milky watercolor look. I wanted to have nice, crisp, opaque watercolor look. So that was important. Okay, so that was my big buy from Dick Blick. Okay, and they shipped really quick and I was very happy with this. So this is my big order from scrapbook.com. And I'll try to go through this a little more quickly because we want to get to the crafting, right? Okay, so if they have a scrapbook and cards magazine. I always get it because I like to look through it and see what kind of cool things are in there. Like this caught my eye, and I wonder how big these are. I'm going to have to look at them online. These embossing punches from We Are Memory Keepers. This one makes a sequin. So how big is this? Is it like little teeny tiny, so you make a teeny tiny sequins, or is it big, or what? Like I can't tell from this picture, so I've got to find out more. Anyway, so I like to go through and look at the projects and the products and get ideas. So this is always, and it's free when you add it to an order, and they have it in stock, so that's always a good thing. It says that it's $8.99 if you wanted to buy it. Okay, and then I went crazy with Tim Holtz. I was so excited about their Halloween stuff, and I'm not a big Halloween person. But I wanted to give this a try because it's kind of me going into the mixed media side of things, which I've been wanting to do. So the first thing I did is I picked up the Crackling Campfire Distress set. So I got the oxide and the ink and everything that it came with. So the spray, the paint, which we can use on our gel plate, the stain, and a re-inker, and there should be another re-inker in here somewhere. I'll have to look and see where it is. Oh, here it is. I'll have to look and see. Oh, here it is. It's still bundled up. So that's the re-inker for the regular ink pad. And then this is exciting. I'm excited to try this, the Distress Embossing Glaze. So I got that whole little set. I got the one without the pin because I'm not a pin person. And I wasn't good. I looked at the price difference, and you're paying for the pin, and I didn't want the pin, so I didn't get the pin. Okay, then I got some other fun glazes. The Distress Grit Paste. This was released at, or shown off at Creativation last year, or earlier this year, so got the Grit Paste. I got the Crazing Collage Medium and the Texture Paste, the Distress Texture Paste. So 3 fun paste mediums I'm excited to use. And then I got, I got these Distress marker embossing pens. These are branded Distress, but they have them from just Ranger too, because I wanted to compare them to my Versa marker. So Versa marker has been around forever. So I wanted to compare it to Versa marker and see if it is as good or better. It comes with a bullet pen and a brush tip pen. So these are separate. And then I also have a set of pens from American Crafts that is also an embossing pen. So I'm going to do like a compare and contrast of the 3 and see which I like best. Okay. And then I went Halloween crazy. So I got the little vignette coffin. Super fun and cool. Nice wood construction. I think it's going to be fun to create with. And then this is some Halloween trims. I think I didn't mean to get this because I thought, oh, I can just use gauze. Well, I ended up in my cart anyway. Not sure how that happened. I must have forgot to take it out. Let's see. These are the Halloween layers. There's 28 pieces of ephemera in here, all sorts of fun Halloween-y, creepy vintage things. Okay. And the vellum haunts. So these are a vellum-y, colored vellum, but vellum nonetheless. So some fun things there. The worn wallpaper, super cool paper collection. I'm excited about these. These will end up being used in other ways outside of Halloween stuff for sure. But I like those. These I got because I'm doing a post on beginner stuff, so that doesn't really matter. Let's see, hardware heads. So these I like because they are not brads, they're just heads. So you would just glue them on. See, they're just flat here. You're just going to glue those on. So I thought those were really cool embellishments. Some other small embellishments here, ephemera. I'm going to have ephemera out the wazoo. I might have to share some of this, so you never know. Might have some giveaways. Adornments. These are metal. So super cool. A little skull and crossbones and an owl, and then some adornments to go on the coffin. The paper dolls, which are just totally creepy. These guys are like really, really creepy, but they're cut out for you already, so that's cool. The grave relics, the skulls and pumpkins, and I got more pumpkins. They're slightly different. These don't have like the white distress on them. And the bones, and fasteners. So brads are coming back into fashion outside of antiquing. So I wanted to have some brads on hand. So I'm happy to have these. Although, you know, like sometimes brads are a double-edged sword. Like you decide you want to put a brad on something, but you already have everything put together. I hate it when it happens. And then the last thing I got, this is actually not a part of the Christmas, the Halloween collection, but it's the quote chips. And they're really thick chipboard. You see how thick those are? And they have quotes on them. And but I thought some of them would be kind of a tongue-in-cheek good to go with the Halloween stuff. So, and then while I was at it, I picked up a new scoreboard because my 4 1/4 line on my old scoreboard is really yucky at the end here. Because I've used it so much, I've had it for years and years and years, that I got a new scoreboard. So, and that is my haul. So there we go. Fun stuff, right? So even though we're doing, you know, stamp focus, you'll see some other projects on my blog with the Halloween stuff coming up, and yeah, and some videos too. Okay. So there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Yeah, I know. Brad's crazy. Oh, and you know what else is coming back, I think, is eyelets. So I never got rid of my Crocodile, which makes me happy because that is, that's what I use to put my brads on things. So I'm excited that I still have that. And that they're coming back because brads are really kind of cool. Not brads, eyelets. That's what I meant to say. Eyelets, eyelets, eyelets. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I think I like hit my camera. I must have with the box. There we go. Okay. So, if you guys enjoyed your look into my shopping. So, oh, Teresa. Go dig them out of the trash because I think they're coming back. Okay, so today's project, I've got everything like up here, is this card and this card. You guys remember those, right? And it was just like such an epic fail with the sound and the blippy video and everything. It was a crummy day. And then remember I was stamping these and it was like, I stamped and then like I ruined the paper, then we had to do it over again. I only cut one of everything, so it's got to work. Okay, so let's rewind and pretend that it's the last week of August instead of the first week of October and have some fun with our Picket Fence Face the Sun. Okay, so let's see. Goosebumps. This is the medium of the day. For this first stamp, for this first card. And we'll start with this one today. And so if you remember, or maybe not, and maybe you're hearing about it for the first time, Goosebumps is this really cool medium from Imagine Crafts. And it is a supposed to leave texture. It says for adding texture using rubber stamps and stencils. But I find that instead of leaving texture so much, it leaves more like it just leaves a what's it called, a resist. It leaves a resist. So this white on here, I guess it is kind of textured. It has like a little bit of texture to it, but it's not super textured, like not like thick texture. You can feel it, it's tactile, but it leaves a resist behind. So this is basically a piece of white cardstock that I stamped this onto, and then we're going to let it dry for a minute or two and then just ink it up like crazy with some dye inks. Okay, so we're going to do with this one first, and then we're going to do this one with the washi tape. Okay, so piece of cardstock and our Misty. Yeah, I'm glad I'm doing it too. Let's see. Looks like I shop like you, Kate. To be honest with you, I don't shop a lot of exciting stuff because I am getting a lot of new things from Altenew a lot, and I don't often have time to do other projects outside of that, but I'm trying to get into that a little bit more. I want to do other things besides Altenew. So for as much as I love Altenew, right? But I want to scratch that itch about like mixed media and doing other things besides cards and things like that. So I'm trying to scale back a little bit on my commitment with Altenew, and take a little bit more time for myself. So that's what that whole purchase was about. Anyway. But yeah, when I buy big. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, I need a $5 thing, and then I place an order for it. I wait for the large order to go in. I'm like, I'm getting the free shipping, or I'm getting the most out of my shipping. So that's the way that I think. Okay, so there's lots of other good comments here. Yeah, I know. Cleaning out is really a difficult decision. Like, do you clean out? Do you not clean out? That kind of thing. Yeah, so Sue, I have the spray that is distress resist, and I'm gonna have to try it versus Goosebumps and see what the difference is. Now, Goosebumps also comes in a matte finish, and it also comes in, I think, a shimmer finish. So this is just the regular glossy finish. So yeah, so Teresa, I'm totally the opposite of you. I buy big, but not often. So, you know, to each her own, right? Okay, so with the Goosebumps, and we kind of learned this last time, we can't like talk and let it sit for too long. We need to just dab it onto our stamp and then stamp it and then lift it. Okay, so the Goosebumps, I just need to make sure that it's been a minute since I used it. It is coming out. It's just coming out slowly. There we go. Just have to get the dauber, you know, moving again. So the other thing with the Tim Holtz is like it doesn't come in a dauber top. It only comes in a spray, I believe. I don't know. I'll have to go look at it and see. Okay, so I'm just putting on a whole bunch of the Goosebumps. Okay, so that is on there. And now we're going to stamp. All right, and that's it. Okay. Oh, wow, Sue, that's crazy. Yeah, that's time for those markers to go, right? Okay, so I don't know. You can barely see the impression on there. You can kind of see a little bit of the gloss on there. All right, but it is on there. And this is going to be a really good imprint. So what I found is if you get this too saturated, it's going to kind of get in between all these little spaces here and leave like too much white behind. If you get it just right though, you'll get a super nice impression. And it doesn't really take long to dry. It is water-based, so I'm cleaning this up with just my rag here. And when I'm done later, because we're going to use Staz on next, but after that, I'm going to do just a really good cleanup with Staz on cleaner. All right, so, and I should mention, I have a video and blog post coming out tomorrow that uses Goosebumps again, but in a totally different, well, totally in a different way. And I think you're really, really going to love it. So make sure to stop by the blog tomorrow or catch the video. Either way, and it will sell you on Goosebumps. And Sue, to your point, I will have to do a comparison of that with the Resist spray. Okay. So another thing that I talk about a lot is these little sticky grids. So the sticky grids, this happens to be the larger ones that are designed to go onto a Sizzix plate, but I use them outside of my Sizzix plate. They make smaller sheets as well, but I'd like to get the bigger ones because I can cut them to whatever size I like. And so I'm always just cutting in like these little smaller, they're kind of like 2x3 pieces. And it's basically a double-sided Post-it note. All right, so I'm putting this down on my blending sheet here. And my Goosebumps is dry, so I'm good to go. See, it doesn't, if you're doing this right, it doesn't take long to dry at all. And then you're just into blending. Okay, so I'm going to use two Altenew colors. I'm using Azurite and Sapphire. They're both very, very similar colors. Right. And I've got my blue blending brush. And you can see I still have some color on here from the last time I used this. And the image is starting to peek through already. It's so cool. Oh, good. I'm glad you found your sticky sheets, Sue. They're super, super, super useful, especially for full page blending like this. I use them a lot. They work better when I mean, they stick on this, but then this is sliding around, right? They work really well on your glass mats or other large surfaces that aren't going to shift around as you're using them. All right, so for this project, I really just want to saturate this paper. Now, I'm using my blending brush, which means I'm being pretty nice about it. I'm going to show you something else you can do that maybe will speed up the process in a minute here. Okay, so you could do that. But if you're going for full saturation and like this is basically a solid color, I'm just going to go direct to paper. And just start to get a whole bunch of ink on there. All right, so that is the Azurite. And then just for a little bit of a change of tone, I'll add in the Sapphire. The Sapphire seems to be inked up a little bit better. Poof. So, you know, sometimes if you're going for full saturation, just go direct to paper because we'd be sitting here blending this all day long. All right. But when you do that, you can see that it is covering the Goosebumps. So I need to grab a paper towel and start wiping that away. All right, so I still have some blue on there. Actually, I could take it off of this now. Come on. So I'm going to take my spray and just get this a little damp. And that's going to help get the rest of this ink off of the Goosebumps. All right. No, it doesn't because the Goosebumps is dried on there. It is not taking any of that off. So what I'm just trying to be careful of is I don't want to get the paper too wet because I don't want that to bubble up or anything. Or pill either. Okay, so that's pretty good. And then I'm going to just go ahead and add some water on here. And try to pull up a little bit of ink. All right, so this needs a minute or two to dry. See, I ended up getting it on my pad anyway here. All right. So this just needs to dry a little bit. So we'll set this aside to dry. And it should end up being pretty white like this one. It's getting there. It's just everything has to dry out a little bit. Okay. So let's set this aside. And we'll come back to that. Okay. So yeah, the Goosebumps is a really, really great medium. And like I said, it comes in 3 different styles. So, and I do have the matte finish. I need to give that a try for sure. Okay, just trying to get some of this blue off my hands because I'm going to be going back to white paper and, you know, that'll be a mess. Okay. So for our second stamp, we're going to use, for second card, we're going to use Stays On, because Stays On is about the only ink that's going to stick to your washi tape. Okay. So even after all these years, Stays On is a go-to for certain things. Okay, this is a first. I've never had my washi tape get stuck in there. Come on. There we go. It just, see how that rolled over? It was stuck to the side of the container. Okay. So our second project really is just as easy. We're going to do layers of washi tape. And that is going to create the background for us. Okay. So I find it best to go like from light to dark, because if you start putting light on top of dark, then you get kind of a milky look, and that's not always what I'm looking for. Okay, so you want to get your first one square, right? Make sure you've got the same amount of space top to bottom, otherwise everything's going to look wonky. All right, and then now I've got it kind of stuck in place, so I can put in 2 layers pink. And I guess I should tell you which one this is from. Okay, so if you try it like once or twice, you're going to want to take that piece away because it's not going to stick so well anymore. So then you just need to start fresh. I'm just trying to get this lined right up with the very top. There we go. Okay, can you remove Stays On from your stamps? Yes, I use Stays On Cleaner. Stays On Cleaner is a multi-purpose stamp cleaner. You can use it for stamps that you've not even used Stays On for. You can use it for all of your ink cleaning needs off of your stamps, and it does not harm your stamps. It does not harm your red rubber stamps. It does not harm your photopolymer stamps. That is an old wives' tale, if you will. It is perfectly fine to use with your photopolymer clear stamps. All right. So there we go. I moved into the second color. Oh, and I should say this is the Rose Petal Washi Tape set from Altenew. Now I don't want to go too many layers because you will start to run into problems with stamping and trying to get that stamp down into the bottommost layer. Can you believe that? So you don't want to go too crazy, but you also don't need to take everything straight from to the end. So if I wanted to, let's see, that's 2 pieces of that. These are almost the same color. But like this one here, I'm going to just put a piece like here, but I'm going to cut it off early. I'm not going to take it all the way to the edge. All right. And then I'll start doing a little bit of overlapping down here as well. And let's see, what do I want to do? We'll do a piece up here. And then Okay, so this is where like going into the white or the lighter color is a conscious decision because it's going to turn like a milky color like I mentioned. So where do I want to put this? That's going to be a lot. I don't know what color I want. Oh, here, let's do this. So every time this is like a little different. I like the way that this one turned out, but I'm just not following it exactly. But this one's going to turn out cool too. Okay, here, actually we'll do this. Just a little bit like texture-ish. Yeah, so this is a fun group of pink colored washi tapes and purples. Okay, so now I can pull this off. I'm going to fold these guys over. And then I'm going to cut off the extras on the top and bottom here. So another option with this is to start adding in a little bit of gold. You could always add in a strip of gold washi tape. That would be really pretty too. All right. So now that I have that on here, I'm going to take my bone folder and press it out. So that way I'm making sure that all of this has really good contact, especially on these little edges here, and that they won't pull up later. All right, so that looks pretty good. And now we need to stamp. So this one, I think I need to get my other Misty for this. So I want to go the other direction. So let's get this lined up. Let's see. Okay. So I'm going to do it this way. I want to make sure that I get it into a corner so that way if I do have to put it down again, you know, do it twice, that I've got it set up. All right. It's kind of something along those lines. So there we go. Now, before I ink this, I want to re-ink my StazOn. And the reason I'm doing this is because I don't use StazOn often, and it has a tendency to evaporate, and it is really going to want to stick to that paper. It's pretty dry in my house, so I'm going to give this just a fresh run of ink. And then I know I'm going to get a really good image, and then hopefully I only have to stamp it once. All right, so let's see. Sue wants to know what next month's stamp is. It is called Wild and Free, and it is by Altenew. So thank you, Ms. Tamp, for putting it in order. If you click on one of my Altenew links down below, that'll help make sure that it's an affiliate order for me, if you don't mind. Okay, so the wax beads, you got them, but you haven't done anything with them. Okay, so I'll see if I can figure out something to add into next month's or this month's stamp focus with them. I have the blue ones, and then I have the stick. The blue ones are the beads. Okay, there. So see, by re-inking this first, I think I had a lot of, I had better success because there was plenty of ink on here and it was able to get down into all of the grooves and the cracks and the crevices to give me really beautiful image. So there you go. Oh, awesome. Thanks so much, Becca. All right. Okay, so this then I can clean off with my StazOn cleaner, and that is not going to be an issue. Because see, if I try to use it with water, it's not coming off. So I need to use my StazOn cleaner for that. So that's why I did that one second, so that way it would be nice and dirty for a cleanup later. All right, so I'm going to give this just a second more to dry. It is mostly dry at the moment, but I can still see some spots that are a little tacky maybe. So we're going to hang out on that for a moment. Let's see where we are with this one. Okay, so this is still wet. It is drying. It looks pretty good. You know, I want to pull out from the original. I think I have, oh yeah, here we go. So I wanted to show you so this is too much Goosebumps maybe. All right, you see how there's like a whole bunch of extra in here. Actually, it's quite pretty. We could probably do this one while I'm still waiting for this one to dry. All right, and then this one I felt like there wasn't enough, and I feel like this one is almost bordering on not enough as well. Okay, so because you can kind of tell what it is, but not quite. Whereas like this one was spot on, and this one maybe just has a little bit too much. All right, so that's the trial and error with Goosebumps. I think if you had a more solid image, it would definitely be easier, right? Okay. So the backgrounds and that stamp on these is the most difficult part. Well, Sue, I'm glad you like it because we're going to use it. Because then these backgrounds just go ahead and get glued right onto the card base. And I really think doing this in a different color would be really, really stunning. You know, you could do like a hot pink or a green or yellow. I mean, you could do any color you wanted, right? A shade of gray would be very cool. So, but I wanted to stick with the blue because that was the sample, and I like the blueprint kind of look, right? It's pretty neat. All right, so there's that one. And then the sky goes right on there. Now you could do your, yeah, dark green would be great, Sue. You could do your washi tape and your stamping and stuff directly on your card base if you want. I find that I don't like to ruin card bases. There are, you know, I use a little bit of a heavier cardstock for that. So I like to do all of my work on a panel that gets glued onto a card base. That's just the way that I prefer to work. And then that way I can fold over those pieces of washi tape and help keep it as secure as possible, right? So there we go. Second one down. Okay, so for the die cuts on these guys, I pre-cut these because I wasn't sure how long we'd have with our unboxing, if you will. So these are the Essentials Classic Words dies from Pink Fresh, and here's what they have on them. And they are both the die and the backing for it. So you've got a shadow that is it's a full shadow, so they kind of nest inside of each other. You can see that there. All right, so lots of different ones. The happy birthday is nice, and so is the best wishes, because actually anything that's 2 words, so thank you as well. The shadow makes them into a single element, but if you use them on their own, just the words, they are 2 separate words. So like the happy and the birthday separate, the thank you separates, and the best wishes is 2 pieces as well. Okay, so I have those already die cut, and I've got the happy birthday in black, and then the hello in white. All right, so the hello is pretty easy. That one's just going to go right on. I was reading your little project there, Becky. Becca, that sounds fun. Tiles and stamping. Yeah, so StazOn is another good use for that, is to stamp on non-porous products. So plastic, glass, glazed tiles. It's good for all that. And if you don't know, StazOn comes in a whole host of colors. And they, Sukaneko just started introducing like an in-style kind of color grouping. So they introduced 5 new StazOn colors this year, and those will stick around for the next 3 or 4 years, as long as they're kind of in style, and then they'll swap those out for new colors in a few years. Oops. So there we go. So the background on these cards is really the big deal. Adding in a die cut sentiment is super simple. If you wanted to add something even more to this, you could do like a little sentiment strip that had something more to the hello, you know, my friend, or, you know, whatever you wanted it to say. So there's that one. And then the happy birthday, I like to make sure that I get the longer word on here first, because if you put the happy here, then all of a sudden the birthday has like nowhere to go, right? So we'll do the longer one first. And as you can see, I'm using my Tombow glue. Do any of you have a glue that you like to use for small, intricate letters like this? Or do you use like a Xyron sticker maker? How do you like to attach your small stuff? I'm always using Tombow, but I feel like I've got good control on it. So, art glitter glue. I'm not familiar with that one. Does it have like a precision tip on it, I'm guessing? Okay. Tombow. Ooh, bookbinding glue. That sounds interesting. I wonder if we could find that over here. Oh, okay, so you order the precision tip separately. The Sakura, yeah. The Shakira. That's so funny. The Sakura, the Sakura Shakira Quickie Glue Pen. Its hips don't lie. That would be awesome. Okay, so with the happy birthday in this die set, it does have a tittle for the eye. However, it is like microscopic. I found it, and I could put it on here, but I don't know that I could get a bit of glue small enough for the tittle. So I am... what happened to... I have a Sharpie pen that's a really small precision pen that I'll do a tittle on there later. I can't find it. I don't know where I put it. So yeah, you know. Cool. The Gina K. Yeah, the Stampin' Up! Fine tip doesn't stick very well. And honestly, the the precision glue from Imagine Crafts, or the On Point glue. This is good for, I like it for sequins and other little embellishment bits. But when it comes to gluing paper on like this, I can't get it to stick either. So glossy accent, you can use that as a glue too. So yeah, cool. Well, I'm glad you guys have lots of different ways to use lots of different glues. Yeah, so the Connect I'll have to look at. Let's see. And the pin flare bookbinding glue from Paula. That's a good idea. I'll have to take a look at that one. Very good. Good ideas, guys. And the art glitter glue. Yeah, that one I'll have to look into. I tried the Gina K once at Creativation, but I have not tried it again since. I remember that it had a nice precision tip to it, so we'll see. Creighton Craft sells pin flare. Okay. Tubes or bottles. All right, Paula, I will have to look into that for sure. Okay, cool. So there you go, guys. We had a much better session today with this. So I'm glad that we redid this video. And so we'll have something good to reference. The PDFs are available for this series now. The PDFs are available for the Catacorn. I finished that up on Thursday night and got that live for you on Friday. So both of those are out there. If you got your coupon code from doing the survey last week, it is still good through today. So if you want to get any of the PDFs at a reduced rate, you can still use that coupon code and get them today. Let me show you the stamp set we'll start using next week. I have so many things. No. Put it away. I don't know where I put it, guys. It ran away. Wow. See, I knew I should have pulled it out before I got started today because now I don't know where I put it. I have little piles of things everywhere. I know those went it. Oh, it was right here. Oh. Oh well, it's missing. It is the Wild and Free stamp set from Altenew. And I don't know where I put it. So hopefully I have it again next week before we get started. Nancy, the survey is actually closed, so you'll have to wait until we're done with this month's series to do the new survey. So I'll have a coupon code in that one too, and we'll do a giveaway with that because I think you guys really enjoyed that. So there will be a Altenew giveaway with that, a $15 gift certificate, and then I'll have a coupon code for the PDFs. Anyway, so yeah, I'm glad we redid these. So, and because there are 5 weeks in October, we will still have 4 weeks with the Wild and Free stamp set. And that will give us plenty of time to explore that set and do some really cool things with it. We're going to be doing some things with ink direct to paper. We're going to be using gel plates. I'm going to have a whole bunch of stuff done up this weekend. So I'm going to try to get you guys the supply lists a little earlier, so you know what you might need to pull out of your craft room in order to craft. But the great thing about these recorded sessions is that if it's something that piques your interest and you want to create later, you can always follow me along in the replay. So I am really excited about this next month's set. I think you're really going to enjoy it. So of course we're back to flowers. This is a very comfortable place for a lot of us to be. So I'm glad that you guys joined me today. It is almost 5 o'clock here, so that means it's almost dinner time, and I am going to be creating some great stuff for the weeks to come. So thank you again for joining me, guys. The description has all of the products that we used today. I'm glad that you enjoyed a little peek into the haul that I just got on my doorstep today. It was so much fun to share that with you. And on your way out, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. I would really appreciate it. So I will see you guys next Thursday. Don't forget to tell all your friends to join us, and we will have some fun with our new stamp focus set, Wild and Free by Altenew. So thanks, guys, and have a crafty weekend.